The planet we live on is full of dangerous places. Dense jungles, active volcanoes, freezing wastelands. But today, we're going somewhere different, somewhere so lethal that even scientists refuse to set foot on it. Today, on Nexora X Media, we're taking you to the most dangerous, most deadly island on Earth. Stay until the end, because what happens if you actually land here will genuinely shock you. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we drop videos like this every single week. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's get into it. This island belongs to Brazil, sitting just off the country's coast. Its official name is Ilha da Queimada Grande, but the world knows it by a much more fitting nickname, Snake Island. And yes, the name says it all. This place is crawling with snakes, and not the harmless kind. These are some of the most dangerous serpents on the planet, and, ironically, they're also critically endangered. That combination is exactly why the Brazilian government has made it completely illegal for any human being to set foot here. Because no matter which way you look at it, someone loses. Either the snakes kill the people, or the people end up killing the snakes. If you want to visit legally, you need a special permit and a legitimate reason. Basically, you have two options. You're either an approved scientific researcher, or you're part of the Brazilian Navy. And even researchers aren't allowed to go alone. The Navy has to escort them the entire time, both on the boat and while they're on the island itself. But let's set the legal stuff aside for a second, and imagine we could actually go there ourselves. First thing you need to know, this island sits about 33 kilometers off the coast of Brazil. So swimming there isn't really an option. Even if you somehow don't run out of breath or get exhausted along the way, there's a good chance a shark finds you first and turns you into a quick snack before you ever reach the shore. As for the island's size, it's actually tiny. Just 430,000 square meters, which is almost exactly the size of Vatican City, the smallest country on Earth. But here's the difference. The Vatican is full of priests and quiet cathedrals. This island is full of venomous snakes. The most common and most infamous species found here is completely unique to this location. It's called the Golden Lancehead Pit Viper. This snake exists absolutely nowhere else on Earth, and it is extremely dangerous. Here's the strange part. Even though the island is packed with them, scientists still consider the species critically endangered. Why? Because their entire population is trapped on this one tiny patch of land. Thousands of years ago, this island used to be physically connected to mainland Brazil. But as sea levels slowly rose over time, this piece of land broke away, and the snakes that once roamed freely across Brazil got completely cut off, stranded on this isolated island forever. Researchers believe that over those thousands of years of isolation, something fascinating happened to these snakes. Their venom evolved to become stronger and stronger. On the mainland, they had access to all kinds of prey and could hunt easily. But once trapped on the island, their only real food source became birds. So their venom had to adapt, becoming fast-acting and powerful enough to drop a bird out of the sky before it could fly away injured. The island is considered so dangerous that even scientists rarely want to go there. Because of this, there's no verified, exact count of how many snakes actually live there, mainly because anyone who goes in to count them doesn't always come back out safely. Based on rough estimates, though, researchers believe there could be as many as 430,000 snakes packed onto this small island. Let that sink in for a second. That number is genuinely insane. Statistically speaking, it works out to roughly one snake for every single square meter of land. And these aren't small harmless snakes either. Even the smaller ones measure at least 50 centimeters long. Which means no matter where you're standing on this island, you're likely never more than a meter away from one. Interestingly, humans have never actually been bitten on this island, but not because the snakes are shy. It's simply because ordinary people don't go there in the first place, and the few researchers who do visit come fully equipped with protective gear specifically designed to prevent bites. Now here's a terrifying comparison. Anywhere else in the world, if a venomous snake bites you and you manage to get to a hospital immediately, your chance of dying is around 7%. But if a golden lancehead bites you, even if a hospital is sitting right next door, your chance of death jumps to a staggering 35%. That's because the venom is engineered by evolution to start attacking your body's tissue the instant it enters your bloodstream, leaving almost no time to react. There are plenty of snake species on this island, but the golden lancehead reigns supreme as the true ruler of this place. Landing on this island doesn't give you much breathing room. Either, there's barely any beach to speak of. The moment your feet hit the ground, the jungle begins, and so does your encounter with the snakes. If you did manage to step onto the shore and push into the tree line, you might survive the first few meters. But the deeper you go, the denser the jungle gets, and the more snakes you'll find, sometimes even tangled together in the underbrush. If you were somehow stranded here, food would be almost impossible to find. Your only real options would be birds, or the snakes themselves. Try to catch a bird, and several snakes will get to you first. Try to catch a snake, and maybe you manage to grab one, but the rest won't let that slide. Even fishing isn't safe. If you head toward the rocky edges of the island with a fishing rod, hoping to catch something from the water, the snakes will find their way to you anyway, guaranteed. There is one man-made structure in the middle of the island, a lighthouse, maintained by the Brazilian Navy. If military personnel ever need to stay on the island, they sleep inside the lighthouse tower, which can only be accessed by climbing a ladder high enough that the snakes simply can't reach them. As for fresh water, the only source on the entire island is collected rainwater, pooled wherever it happens to gather. But naturally, wherever there's water, that's also exactly where you'll find the snakes waiting. You've probably heard stories of shipwrecked sailors washing up on some remote island and eventually being rescued. Well, if your ship ever sinks, and you happen to wash up on this particular island, let's just say your luck couldn't get much worse. Out of every uninhabited island scattered across the world's oceans, this is easily one of the worst possible ones to land on. What makes this island truly remarkable, though, is that these snakes represent something the rest of the world has already lost. This species once thrived across mainland South America for millions of years, until human expansion wiped them out almost everywhere else. This isolated island is essentially the last surviving showcase of a snake population that used to roam freely across an entire continent. A beautiful, terrifying time capsule of what once was. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly signing up for a tour of this particular exhibit anytime soon. What about you? Would you ever set foot on Snake Island even with a full Navy escort? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most dangerous places on Earth, make sure to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Nexora X Media for more terrifying and fascinating places you never knew existed. We post new videos every week, so hit that notification bell so you never miss one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.